Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Pause by Jaysrii. This is a space where we slow down, breathe a little, and have honest conversations about wellness, lifestyle, and the small habits that help us feel more like ourselves again. Today, I'm really excited to be joined by Cara, a personal trainer and the founder of CGM Fitness. Cara helps people find workouts they genuinely enjoy and build routines that feel sustainable rather than overwhelming. Hera, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
I would love to start by getting to know you a little better. Can you tell us a bit about your journey and what inspired you to become a fitness coach?
Sure, yeah. So I've been at this now for 21 years. I started just by working out at the gym, and I quickly grew to love it. And that was when I was in like freshman year of college, all the way 21 years ago. And I kept going back. And then the manager ended up coming up to me and saying something. And she said, you're here a lot. You should get your personal training license or certification so you could work here. And I never really thought about doing it. I was so into, taking the classes and working out for myself. So I said, oh, I think you're right. Maybe I should get it. She's like, you're here all the time. You might as well. So I got it within a year or like the next 6 months. I got a small one to start off with, and they hired me there. Back in the day, it was Lucio Roberts. They don't have
Mhm.
them anymore. Sadly, they went out after COVID. They weren't able to sustain. They got bought over by New York Sports Club, who was basically out now too. I don't think there's many of those left either. But over those 20 years, I worked for them quite a while, personal training women. And then I started to go off sort of on my own, but also I worked for bigger gyms, um, such as Equinox. I was there for quite a while teaching a bunch of classes. And then I got trained in teaching the group fitness classes. So I was training my one on one clients, but I also had my groups as well. And I taught all various classes: bar, um, TRX, Pilates, strength. I got more and more certifications as time went by. And then fast forward to I guess it was 2020 when COVID hit, and I couldn't work at the gyms anymore because they all closed. So I took everybody virtual, my one on one clients virtual, and then I started teaching the classes on Zoom. And I realized, you know what? I don't really want to go back to the gyms and teach. At that point, I had been teaching 15 classes per week. I was burnt out. I was tired of doing 15 a week and my clients on top of it. So I stayed online for quite a while. And then we built a studio in our home that we had just bought before COVID hit. So we turned our 2-car garage into a studio. So now I see clients in person, online, and I still teach a few Zoom classes a week. And I went back to a gym and teach a couple of in person classes a week. So I definitely lightened my load and made it a little bit easier for myself that people are coming to me instead of me going to everybody else across the island.
That's true. That's amazing. That's really one good journey. I would say 20 years into this, and I see you are already fit. And I have taken one of your classes, and I loved it. I can't
Thank
wait to
you.
get on to another one. I hear from so many people these days that fitness can sometimes feel intimidating or complicated, especially with everything we see online.
hmm
So, what is something about fitness that people completely misunderstand, according to you?
I think it's forcing themselves to do a certain amount or to do a certain thing that they feel like is the right thing to do. Like, for instance, having to do cardio every single day isn't really necessary, especially women who are aging, who are in their 40s and 50s. Pounding the treadmill might not be the best way. It's probably better that they lift heavier weights, but they also need to find a format they actually enjoy doing. If they don't really like lifting weights, they're probably, sometimes it takes a couple of tries, but if they've tried it like 3 or 4 times and they genuinely don't like doing it, they might want to try Pilates or bar or something that is still weight bearing that they may enjoy better, because there's nothing worse than going through a format that they really don't love and they're likely not going to continue it. So it's best to find something that you love, and you don't have to go so long with your workouts. It doesn't have to be an hour each time. It could be 20 to 30 minutes. You'll still get those benefits without burning your body out.
Yeah, like even if you are starting like small, but just
Yes.
and kind of stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think people overcomplicate workouts today? Like, they want to just do anything and everything that is coming around, with a lot of workout forms that have come up, like you mentioned, Pilates, weight training,
Yeah.
cardio, bar, and so do you think they're overcomplicating it today?
Some people are overcomplicating it. It doesn't have to be so strict and so set that you have to get to all the things on all of the days. It's just impossible to be able to get to all of these formats. So I think you have to kind of find what you truly, genuinely enjoy doing and focus on that for at least a while before you start adding in everything. And there's also just so many fads that come out. Like now there's, and I'm not saying that they're not beneficial, but there's so many fads. Like now I saw one that it's like a bungee jumping class that they attach you to this like bungee and you're flying through the air. And I'm not saying that it's not fun and good, but a lot of these things are fads that are just going to come and go.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so according to you, what actually matters most? Like, as you just said, that cardio is not necessary. You have to do cardio every single day.
Every day. Yeah, you don't need it every day.
So what actually matters most, according to, like, you're trying to say, like, we have to focus on building muscles because, over the in the
For the
long run.
aging woman, yes, the building muscle definitely matters the most, especially when we start to age and we have an increased risk of osteoporosis or osteopenia. That matters more than the cardio at that age. However, if somebody is obese and they do need to lose weight, then they've got to get the cardio into. It really depends on the person and their goals, but generally for an aging woman, that strength training is the most important.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah.
uh, so if someone is starting today,
Hmm.
right, what is the simplest place to begin then?
I would say in the beginning, getting a simple strength training routine, half an hour, see how they like it with just a basic weight training routine and adding that cardio in too a few times a week. Basic stuff first.
Hmm.
If they're genuinely not enjoying the strength training, there's different ways to do it that the moves are a little more flowy. Like when I teach my classes, I don't just stand there doing bicep curls or doing rows. I kind of flow through the movement. So if they're not liking the basic, they can try something with a little more flow to it. And then if they're still not liking it, then they might want to delve into Pilates, bar, yoga, see how those formats gel. But you can't do it all at once. You got to start somewhere, like a basic routine, see how it works for you, and then try something new if that doesn't stick.
What is the biggest mistake people make with fitness? What do you think?
Hmm, there's a lot of them. I would say doing too much at once is a big one, like I said, because then they get injured and they don't want to come back because they did too much in the beginning and got overzealous. A lot of times too, I see newer trainers, not all of them, but newer ones, beating a new client down that they worked them so hard in the beginning that they can't even sit down on the toilet the next day, and then the person doesn't want to go back. So they,
Yeah.
if they're going to start with the trainer, they really need to like research, see how long the trainer's been doing it, see what kind of certifications they have. Because if it's somebody new, and a lot of times a woman, in my opinion, should probably start training with an older woman first that's been doing the training for some time. If she goes with, a 20-year-old male, chances are, not all the time, but generally speaking, chances are he might go too hard on her,
Yeah.
especially if you're a beginner. So you have to research the trainer, not get too overzealous yourself either.
Totally makes sense. Like, that's such an important reminder. Like, even if you're starting, or you have to make sure that you're not burning yourself out, right?
Yes. Yep.
So
Small
um,
steps.
small steps is
Yep.
definitely going to help.
Mm-hmm.
And fitness is really just one part of overall wellness.
Yeah.
um, so in your experience, what are two or three simple habits that make the biggest difference in someone's overall health?
Drinking a lot of water, especially if you're going to start with the fitness. If you can try to start with 6 to 8 cups a day, if you're not a water drinker, and then increase until you're maybe up to 10 cups and then 12. But if you can start with 6 to 8, pure water. Green tea can count somewhat, but you don't want to just do all green tea. Like you
Right.
want to get that water in there. Sparkling water is okay too. Not so much with like all the, I don't know. I try to stay away from the ones that have a lot of flavors in them because then you start getting more of the chemicals. But the water is important, and also just doing the small meals more frequently throughout the day, finding out how many calories, because each person requires a different caloric intake. Even if they did one session with a nutritionist just to see how many calories they should be intaking and see it getting a mock meal plan, that's very helpful if they can just afford. And a lot of insurance covers nutritionists, which is great if they can just get one session to see what they should be eating and how many calories they should be intaking. That's very helpful in the beginning.
So hydration really matters in general.
Hydration,
Right?
yeah, and the eating is like 70% of this. Like you can work out all you want. If you're not intaking the right amount of calories, it's not going to help so much.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. For
Yeah.
example, when I do my workouts, right, especially I go for my weight training sessions, and
Yeah.
there are days where, my protein intake is pretty less, and like being a vegetarian,
Yeah.
it's a big problem there. And I feel it, the repair, body repair takes time. It's like not smooth and easy. So, fair,
What do
that's
you get if you're not doing the meat? Do you eat fish or you don't eat fish
No,
either?
I
No
don't eat
fish.
fish. So
Yeah.
so cottage cheese is a good source of protein for
Yeah.
us, for vegetarians. So
Yeah.
I make sure that I have that in my daily routine. I have Greek yogurt as well, so with high protein content, and also lentils and sprouts.
Yes, like beans,
Um,
tofu. Do you do the tofu also?
Tofu,
Yeah.
yes, tofu as
Yeah,
well.
that's needed. Yep.
So that's how I kind of try, but it is so necessary. We have to find our ways and means out. So what does your personal daily routine look like?
It could vary a little day to day, but usually I get up, I always do skincare first. I use a good serum, I use a good moisturizer. Your products are great.
Thank
And
you.
um what else do I do after that? Then I have a breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Before I train my clients, I try to have something, usually with some protein in there. Uh, and some carbs both. Like today I had a date with peanut butter. I also had a string cheese in there and some nuts. That was my breakfast this morning. Then I train clients. Today was a little bit of a special cause with the podcast. I usually take some time in the afternoon to film some reels for social media. I'm going to do that today, get some desk work done. Then I have more clients in the afternoon. I usually have like a split that people either train before, like earlier in the day, or later in the day after work. And then it depends on the day when I get my own workout in. Sometimes I get it in the beginning of the day. Tonight I'm taking a hot yoga class at 6 p.m. So I'll get my workout in later. Typically I don't eat dinner until later. It's just the way my schedule works. So we'll eat at like 8 o'clock, which may be late for some people, but it works for our schedule. I
Yes.
feel like my philosophy is if you're eating okay during the day and you're getting the amount of calories you should, it doesn't matter too much on the time that you eat. Of course, you don't want to eat super close to bed, but I tend to go to bed like 11ish. So eating at 8 is not terrible.
Are you a foodie? Like, do you enjoy cooking?
Um, huh, I love food. Do I enjoy cooking? Not really, but I do it because I have to. I'd rather like, and I know it's not great. I'd rather get food out or get takeout, but we don't do that a lot. So I force myself to cook. And there's a bunch of recipes that I do enjoy. I enjoy making, but I kind of feel like I force myself to do it. I don't, I wish I could enjoy it more, but I don't. Yeah, I feel like it's a little forced for me.
Yeah.
It's, I'd rather read a book or work
Mhm.
out than cook a meal. But I'll do it. I have to do it, right? But
Yeah.
it's not a pastime that I really love.
So could you share one quick wellness recipe that anyone watching this could easily make at home?
Sure. So I like my chicken fajitas in the slow cooker. Very simple. And again, you could like leave the house and if you're comfortable keeping your slow cooker on. I buy two chicken breasts. I try to get the organic ones or the, farm raised ones. I put on the bottom of the slow cooker, I cut up three peppers, a red, a green, and a yellow, some onions, some garlic. Put that all in the bottom of the slow cooker. You can make your own taco seasoning, like with cumin, garlic, some other spices, or you can buy like the Trader Joe's taco seasoning. I put a little on there. Put the two chicken breasts in there. I also put tomatoes, like the canned tomatoes with the diced chilies in there, like an 8-ounce can of those. Usually a half an onion, two cloves of garlic. I put it on the slow cooker on low. I think it was 8 hours that I did it. And you could find, I'm sure, this recipe online. It was
Mm-hmm.
7 or 8 hours. You shred the chicken after, I think it was 8 hours, put it back on for 10 minutes in the slow cooker. And then you could get the tortilla shells of your choice, right? You can get like a low carb one. The Siete makes a really good tortilla shell, not a lot of chemicals in those Siete ones. You just spoon it in there. You can add the toppings of your choice, whether it be guacamole is a good one that's better than sour cream. You could do like a low fat cheese in there if you want the cheese, but you could just do the guacamole in it. It tastes good. You could
Yeah.
put a little olives in there. And that's what, I make that cup maybe like once or twice a month. And they're so simple. And you get a lot of filling out of it. So you can have it for lunch one day, for dinner the next. You really get a lot out of the two chicken breasts when you shred them.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, that good, nice wellness recipe. I'm
You're
sure,
welcome.
we will try. I'm a vegetarian, but whoever,
I know. I guess you could do it with chickpeas or like a falafel. Like,
yes,
would that work in there?
and
Yeah.
tofu as well. Like, but of course, like
Tofu.
we can. So any kind of meat could be replaced, by tofu, and the gravy always remains the same. And you are going to get
Yes.
majorly a good taste from gravy itself.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that
the
that
tofu
totally
would work in
works.
there. I don't know how well the tofu works in the slow cooker, but you would know that.
Yeah,
I've
so
never
that
done it
would
in
be,
there.
yeah. So for me, my timing would be changing there. It
The
doesn't
time
need
would
so many
change.
hours of cooking there.
No,
Um,
no.
yeah, but I'll figure a way out.
Yeah, yeah.
So now moving towards skin and wellness. Something I personally believe very strongly is that wellness and skin health are deeply connected.
Hmm.
Do you feel that fitness and lifestyle habits affect skin as well?
Definitely. And I also think the skin is really highly connected to the gut. Like if
Mhm.
you have gut issues, the skin tends to get that red pimpled look if there's gut issues going on, and the gut comes directly from the food too. So it's
Yes.
definitely all interconnected. I tend to have, luckily, a lot of people always say, your skin looks so nice. And I think a lot of it is from eating well,
Yes.
working out. Um, they're definitely, of course, I use good products too, but they're all interconnected for sure. You can't just use the good products and
Totally.
not have the health. It's like that's what I was saying too with the working out. You can't just eat crap and then get in
Yeah.
shape. They're all connected.
It happens as well, right? So if, for example, we are eating too much oily food or something that doesn't suit you, it starts showing up on your skin. Does exercise influence skin health?
Exercise definitely influences the skin health, but you have to be careful because after you sweat, you have to have some kind of routine, right, to take that sweat off your face.
Yeah.
But 100% the exercise, the people who I know that work out tend to have Not all the time, but they tend to have better skin because it flushes our body too.
Yes.
It gets the toxins out of our body, and the hot yoga really helps too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that takes a lot of the toxins out of the body, hence a healthier looking skin tone.
Definitely. I love dancing, right? Whenever I go
Mm-hmm.
to dance class, and once it is done, like it's such a good workout glow. I love it, and I'm like, I always try and get some selfies. But and
Yeah.
then I just keep, eventually, like we get these photo memories, and I'm like, okay, that's another push, another motivation, that yes, this is making my
Mm-hmm.
skin look good, so I might as well keep continuing that.
Yep. Yeah. They also say jumping a
Yes.
little. I know not
Mhm.
jumping is not for everybody, but they actually say a little bit of jumping, bouncing, probably like with dancing, it improves the skin tone. It helps the elasticity of the skin.
Yeah,
There's been
yeah.
studies about that.
Wow. Okay. I think I need to try that.
Yeah.
Definitely. That sounds good. Tara, one thing that I think, many people struggle with today is that wellness can feel overwhelming. There are so many routines and
Yeah.
trends, there are so many products, workouts, everything feels overwhelming. So, how do you keep wellness simple?
Simple for me, like I said, with the skincare, I do skincare, start of the day, end of the day. I try to do a facial once every 6 months or some micro needling to get that extra.
Mm-hmm.
Um, each day I get some kind of a workout in there. It's impossible to do it all, so I like to alternate what I do. Yesterday I taught 2 classes. That was my workout. Tonight I'm going to go to hot yoga. I try to get in one thing a day for my workout, the skincare in the morning and the evening. And like I said, those special things, getting that hydrofacial here and there, like maybe once every 6 months to detox, and the eating healthy. Like I don't obsess over it. My husband and I will go out for dinner, we'll get takeout here and there, but 80% of what I'm eating, or 90% of what I'm eating, is healthy. I think about my meals in advance. I try to get breakfast, lunch, and dinner with a snack in between them, but it doesn't have to be super, super complicated stuff.
Right, right. So, what is your philosophy when it comes to sustainable wellness? Yes.
Yeah. So keeping it, eh, finding what you love, because you want to keep going back to it, right? So it
Yes.
shouldn't be something that you dread. If you're going to dread doing a half an hour on that treadmill, it's not for you. But if you enjoy that, then by all means, that could be your workout, right? Finding what you really love, so you're going to want to keep going back to it.
Yes. And so, what's your favorite way to unwind?
Reading at the end of the night after all my clients are finished, when I have dinner on, or, dinner heating up. I like to read for like 20 to 25 minutes a night. I close out the day with a little meditation too. Some people like to do meditation in the AM. I like it at the end of the day because when I wake up, I'm kind of just go. But some people enjoy that in the AM. So I'll do a little meditation, 5 to 8 minutes at the end of the night with a good book. And then I also like to watch TV, like at the end of the night too, like maybe before dinner, the little bit of reading, after dinner, some TV time. Netflix, there's so many good shows, movies out there, so I like to do both.
Yeah, I do meditation in the morning. Like I
You do it,
prefer
yeah.
it, like starting it calm and composed, and be out there then.
Yeah, you could look at it two ways. Like you're
Yes.
composed in the morning. You could do it twice. I feel like I need it to relax me by the end of the day because I'm more wound up after my day. So it kind of grounds me at the end. So you could do it both, one
Yeah.
or the other. Yeah.
Just do it. That's what
Yeah. Just do the
is what is going
meditation.
to help.
5 minutes.
Even if it is 5 minutes, true. And you won't realize until you start doing it. But once you start, those 5 minutes, you will be craving for those 5 minutes every single day to
Yeah,
kind of come back to yourself, and you need kind of that pause and
definitely.
feeling yourself. So before we wrap up, I know that a lot of people watching this may feel inspired to move more or explore a fitness routine that actually feels enjoyable. For anyone who might want to try your classes, can you tell us a little bit about what they are like?
Sure. So I teach them live 3 days a week. My website, we'll put it in the description too, so your
Yes.
viewers can look at the website, but it's www.cgmfit.com. I teach 3 live group Zoom classes a week. Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I give bar one day, a strength training another day, and a Pilates, very Pilates on Saturdays. If they want to come and try it, they don't need a lot at home. Weights, a mat. I use small props, but it's not needed right away. The weights are needed though, like you need to get weights. But for the lightweight formats like the bar and the Pilates, they could use water bottles or cans for their first class. And if they like it, then they can invest in getting some 2 or 3 pound weights. But the classes are 50 minutes. I change the routine all the time. So if you didn't like one routine, there'll be a new one the next week. They also all go up on demand. So if they can't make them live, they can watch them on demand. They could go to my website. They can drop in a live class or one of the recordings in their cart. They can enter a code welcome CGM, and they'll get their first recording or live class for free.
Amazing. I believe you've also offered a special discount code for viewers, right?
Yes, I'll put in the code. Yeah, I give you the code, and then they can have that as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's wonderful. So I will be adding the class link, the discount code, and the validity period in the description so people can easily find it. Before we end, I would like to ask this: if someone watching this could start with just one small habit tomorrow to improve their health and well-being, what would you recommend?
I'm going to say the water. Start with really hydrating and flushing. If there was one thing, drink more water.
Cara,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing your insights today. I think what really stands out is a reminder that wellness does not have to be complicated. It can
Yes.
start with very small, consistent steps.
Hmm.
And to everyone watching, if you enjoyed this conversation, you can find Cara's details, her classes, and the special code in the description below. Thank you for joining us for the Pause by Jaysrii. Take a moment for yourself today, breathe, slow down, and take care. Thank you.